Good morning to all of you. This session is for the BSc Nursing first year students, and this is a revision class for the students, and the topic is types of fever. So we have already learnt about fever and this topic also. So hopefully this session will help you all to clear your doubts regarding this topic. So first of all, fever is also known as pyrexia, and the definition is different. It is not that the body temperature above the normal body temperature is known as fever. No. If the body temperature is above 99 degree Fahrenheit or 37.2 degrees Celsius, then it is considered as fever. So the definition is body temperature above 99 degree Fahrenheit or 37.2 degrees Celsius. Now the phases of pyrexia. The pyrexia occurs in three phases. First phase is called onset, which is also known as invasion, then fastigium, which is also known as stadium, and then defervescence, which is also known as decline. So onset or invasion means the body temperature starts rising. So this process can happen suddenly or slowly the body temperature rises. So this is the onset of the fever. Slowly or suddenly the body temperature rises. Then fastigium or stadium. It means the period when body temperature reaches maximum, and then it will remain at that level. So stadium and fastigium means the body temperature will reach the maximum, and then it will remain fairly constant at this level. So this is known as fastigium. Then defervescence or decline. As the name is suggesting, now the body temperature will return to the normal, and this can also be sudden process or it can be a gradual process. So the fever occurs in three phases. First, there will be onset. It means the body temperature will start rising. Then it will reaches the peak. It means when it will reaches the peak, then it will be fastigium or stadium. Then when it will reaches the peak, it will remain at that maximum for a period of time, and then it will decline. The body temperature decreases, then it will be called decline or the defervescence. So for example, slowly the person's body temperature rises like 99.2, then it will be 95 degree Fahrenheit, then 100 degree Fahrenheit. So this is the onset. The body temperature is slowly rising. Then it will reach the 100 degree Fahrenheit. Then this is the peak temperature. So it will be called as stadium or the fastigium. And then when it will be reached at a maximum body temperature, now the body temperature will decline. For example, the person takes the antipyretic medicines, right, for reducing the temperature. So now the body temperature will decline. So from 100 degree Fahrenheit it will come to the 99.8, 99. So in this way the phases of fever occurs. There will be onset, then fastigium, and then defervescence or the decline. Now lysis. I told you that in the defervescence or the decline, the body temperature will decreases, right? Now lysis means temperature falls in a zigzag manner for 2 to 3 days of a week before reaching the normal. Okay, so it is not a sudden process. It will take week. It is a gradual process, and it occurs in a zigzag manner. It is not like that continuously there will be decrease in temperature. No, it will be in the zigzag manner. So it will be like 99.8 degree Fahrenheit, then 99 degree Fahrenheit. So it before reaching the 99 it may be 99.2, then it may, so it is not in a continuous process. The temperature falls in a zigzag manner and for 2 to 3 days of a week before reaching the normal. Then crisis means sudden return to the normal temperature from a very high temperature within hours. So in the lysis the temperature was not falling suddenly, it was reducing gradually, but in the crisis it will return to normal very suddenly. So it can be true crisis or false crisis. In the true crisis the temperature is falling suddenly, but also there is a improvement in the patient condition. So the temperature is gradually decreasing, suddenly decreasing. Also the patient condition is also improving. But in the false crisis, the temperature is returning to normal suddenly, but there is no any improvement in the patient condition. So this is the difference between lysis and the crisis. In the lysis, the temperature falls, but it is in a zigzag manner, while in the crisis, the temperature falls in a suddenly. Now the types of pyrexia. The types of pyrexia based upon what is the body temperature of the patient, right? For example, if it is low pyrexia, it means the person temperature is 99 to 100 degree Fahrenheit or 37.2 to 37.8 degrees Celsius. If it is moderate, then it will be 100 to 103 degree Fahrenheit or 37.8 to 39.4 degrees Celsius. If it is hyperexia, 103 to 105 degree Fahrenheit, that is 39.4 to 40.6 degrees Celsius. Or hyperpyrexia, it means above 105 degree Fahrenheit, then it will be called hyperpyrexia. So based upon what is the body temperature, we can classify it into low, moderate, high and the hyperpyrexia. Now hyperthermia or hypothermia. In the hyperpyrexia, the body temperature is raised above 105. Okay, if it is more than 105, then it will be called hyperpyrexia. But in the hypothermia, if the body temperature is 105 or above, it means 105 is also considered under hypothermia, while in the hyperpyrexia, it is only the body temperature rises above 105. But in the hyperthermia, 105 or above it will be called hypothermia. This is the difference between hyperpyrexia and hypothermia. In the hypothermia, the body temperature falls and it will be 95 degree Fahrenheit or below it. Now types of pyrexia depending upon what is their pattern, how they are occurring. Okay. Then constant fever. Constant fever is also known as continuous fever. It means constant. It means it will never remain normal, right? So it is continuous. So temperature remain above normal throughout the day. So it will never come to the normal. It also does not reach normal for a period of days or weeks. Okay. And then the difference or the variation between the maximum and the minimum temperature in 24 hours is less than 1 degree Celsius or 1.5 degree Fahrenheit. For example, you check the person's temperature. Okay, then in the constant fever, first the body temperature will never come to the normal. And second point is that if the body temperature, for example, it was 99.9, so from 99.9 to 100.4 degree Fahrenheit, it will remain in between these numbers only because it is constant fever. It means the body temperature there will be no more than difference of 1.5 degree Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius. So for example, if the person was having 39 degree Celsius body temperature, so it will be 39 to 40 degrees Celsius of the person throughout the day. There will be no any variation between maximum and the minimum temperature in 24 hours more than 1 degree Celsius or 1.5 degree Fahrenheit. Then it occurs due to some infectious disease like typhoid and dengue fever. Constant or continuous fever occurs. This is the diagram. You can see the body temperature is above the 38 degree Fahrenheit and below the 40 degree. Okay, so basically the main important thing here is that the maximum and the minimum, the body temperature of the person, the difference is not more than 1 degree Celsius or 1.5 degree Fahrenheit. In the x-axis time is written, and in the y-axis the temperature is written. So the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature, the variation between this maximum and the minimum temperature, it is not more than 1 degree Celsius or 1.5 degree Fahrenheit. Now remittent fever, the temperature remains above normal throughout the day, and it is the opposite of the continuous fever. Sorry, not opposite. In this, the variation between the maximum and the minimum temperature is more than 1 degree Celsius in 24 hours, and the example is typhoid fever. So throughout the day the body temperature will be above normal, it will be more than 99 degree Fahrenheit, and it can be like 99, it can be rose up to 105, 106. The minimum is like 99 or 99.2. So maximum can be anything, but it will be more than 100.1 degree Fahrenheit. In this you can see the maximum and the minimum. In the minimum you can see it is approximately 37.2 or 3, and the maximum is the 39.6 or 8 something, right? So there is a variation and it is more than 1 degree Celsius. Now intermittent fever, it is a type or the pattern of fever in which there is interval where temperature is elevated for several hours, and then there will be interval when temperature drops back to normal. So there will be fever, then the temperature will come to normal, then there will be fever, then there it will come to normal. This happens mostly in the malaria. So quotidian fever, in the intermittent only, it is quotidian fever in which the fever occur daily, means 20 during the 24-hour periodicity for the few hours. Then tertian fever in which it occurs after an interval of 2 days, and quartan fever, it occurs after an interval of 3 days. So in this you can see in the quotidian or quotidian, the fever, it occurs daily, right? So it is elevated, then it will decline, then it will become normal, it come to 37, then it will rise, but daily this is happening. So it is quotidian or quotidian fever pattern. Then tertian, every alternate day. So the body temperature increases, then it will decline, come to the normal, then the person will have no any fever for 1 day, then the body temperature increases. Similarly this pattern will follow. In the quartan fever, every every 2 days after the person's body temperature will increase then decrease, right? So this is quartan fever pattern. So in the intermittent you have to learn like the body temperature is increasing, then it is decreasing, coming to the normal, and then it is increasing, then decreasing, coming to the normal. In this way intermittent fever occur. Hectic fever, in this the difference between the highest and the lowest temperature is great. So it is 1.4 degrees Celsius or more than that. So hectic fever means the maximum temperature like was 100, and the minimum temperature will be more than the difference between the maximum and the minimum temperature will be 1.4 or more than that. So if the person minimum temperature is 99 degree Fahrenheit, so let's take in this Celsius scale. So if the person is having a temperature of 39 degrees Celsius, so the difference will be um, more than that, the maximum temperature will be more than if the temperature is 39 degrees Celsius, then it will be 40.4 degrees Celsius or more than that. Okay, so and the difference will be more than 1.4 degrees Celsius or more. So this is called hectic fever. Then relapsing means the person's condition deteriorate uh, and further, but after the significant improvement. It means the person's condition was improved, but now person health condition is deteriorating again, and it is worse than before. So in the relapsing fever, this is a variant of the intermittent pattern only. It has intermittent pattern, and fever spikes are separated by the days or weeks of normal temperature. So it will be like and the it is like intermittent pattern. It has intermittent pattern only. So there will be body temperature will increase, it will the fever will be spiked, it will be at its peak, then it will be come to the normal, and this will occur for days or weeks also. So this will be called relapsing fever. In the inverse fever, inverse means the highest range of temperature is in the morning and the lowest range of temperature is in the evening. Generally, according to the day, our body temperature also varies. So it is called inverse because in the morning it gives highest temperature and in the evening it gives lowest range of temperature. Generally, according to the day, in the morning we have lowest range of temperature and in the evening we have highest range of temperature. But in the inverse fever, this will be opposite, so that's why it is called inverse fever. Then rigor, it is a sudden and the severe attack of shivering, and the body temperature rises rapidly. Sorry, the spelling is wrong, it should be rapidly, to a stage of hypoparesia. So it means the rigor means patient is having shivering, and also the patient's body temperature, it is 105 degree Fahrenheit above that. Then okay, so body temperature is above than 105 degree Fahrenheit and it's shivering also, then it will be called rigor. So basically in this session we discuss what is pyrexia, what are its phases, and what are the types of fever according to the means based upon the body temperature of the person and the pattern. So if you have any doubt regarding this session or you want to repeat anything, or you can freely ask me personally by and I hope you will you all your doubts will be cleared. So thank you so much.